Okay, so let's get right into it. We're all taught to think about money like it's math, right? Income, expenses, investments, it's all just numbers on a spreadsheet. But if that was actually true, well, wouldn't we all be rolling in it? The truth is, our relationship with money has way more to do with our feelings, our personal history, and our ego than it ever will with a calculator.
And this quote from Morgan Housel it absolutely nails the central puzzle we're looking at today. I mean, have you ever wondered why brilliant, super smart people sometimes go completely broke? Or how someone with, no fancy degree can end up building a massive fortune? The answer isn't what they know, it's all about how they act.
See, we get so focused on this stuff in the left column. Got to be smarter, get more data, find the perfect formula. But the things that truly move the needle are all these messy human factors on the right. Things like our patience, or lack of it, our ego, our fears. So let's bust 3 of the biggest money myths by really digging into what actually matters.
All right, first up is myth number 1. This idea that to be good with money, you have to be perfectly, coldly rational with every single decision you make.
So the first big idea to wrap your head around is that no one's crazy. Now think about that for a second. Have you ever seen someone buy a lottery ticket and just thought, what a waste of money? I mean, to you, it's totally irrational. But to them, based on their life, their experiences, that ticket might be the only little sliver of hope they feel they have. Their choice makes perfect sense to them. Why? Because none of us are making decisions based on spreadsheets. We're using our own unique life stories as a guide.
And this is just so critical. We're all looking at the world through this tiny little keyhole of our own personal experience. If you grew up during a massive recession, you're going to see risks completely differently than someone who grew up during a huge market boom. And you know what? Neither of you is crazy. You just learned very different lessons from the world. All these things that come together to create your personal financial DNA. It's how your parents talked or didn't talk about money. It's the economy you were born into. It's your own run-ins with good or bad luck. All of it gets hardwired into how you see money, and that worldview feels like the absolute truth to you, even if it looks like complete madness to somebody else.
So, that brings us right to our second myth, and this one is buried deep in our culture. It's the idea that wealth is something you can see. We're basically programmed to believe that if someone's got the fancy car and the huge house, they must be wealthy.
Picture it. It's a classic scene, right? You're walking down the street, and this brand new, super expensive car pulls up to a light.
Just be honest with yourself for a sec. Is your very first thought about the person behind the wheel? Are you thinking, wow, that person must be so cool, so successful? Probably not, right? Here's the crazy psychological flip. We almost never admire the person with the stuff. Instead, we use their things as a mirror for our own wants. The driver might as well be invisible. All we really see is a reflection of how we want other people to see us.
And this gets to the core difference between being rich and being wealthy. Being rich is your income right now. It's visible. It's the money you spend to show other people you have money. But wealth is what you don't see. It's the money that hasn't been turned into stuff yet. It's the income that you saved and invested, and what that really gives you is options and freedom. And that leads us perfectly into the final and maybe the most counterintuitive myth of all, that getting rich is the hardest part. Turns out, holding on to it is a totally different ballgame. Think about it. Getting wealthy often takes some serious risk, a whole lot of optimism and bold moves. But staying wealthy, that requires almost the exact opposite mindset. It takes humility. It takes a healthy fear that everything you've built could vanish. It takes the discipline to just survive for the long haul. Hustle might build the house, but caution is what keeps it from burning down. And the math on this is just brutal. It doesn't forgive. If your investments drop by 50%, you don't need a 50% gain to get back to even. Nope. You need a 100% gain. You have to double your money just to get back to where you started. And that's exactly why avoiding a huge loss is so much more important than chasing every last dollar of profit. Survival is everything. Okay, so we've busted some pretty big myths. We've figured out that financial success is about how you behave, not just how smart you are. We know that real wealth is the stuff you don't see. And we get that staying in the game is more important than spectacular wins. So, what does that all mean? I mean, really, if the goal isn't just to buy more and more stuff to impress people who, frankly, aren't even paying that much attention, then what are we all working for? What is the real purpose of building wealth? This is it. This is the ultimate paycheck money can give you. It's not luxury goods, it's autonomy. It's not flashy things, it's control. The highest dividend money pays is the freedom to control your own time, to wake up every single morning and say, I can do whatever I want today.
So when you're saving and investing, you're not just stacking up dollars. You are buying something so much more valuable. You're buying the freedom to leave a job you hate. You're buying the ability to actually be present with your family on vacation. You're buying options for your future self, and that is a purchase that will never, ever go down in value.
At the end of the day, every single dollar you spend, every dollar you save, it's a word in the story of your life. So you have to ask yourself, is the story you're telling about trying to impress other people with things, or is it a story about slowly, steadily buying back control over your own time and your own life? It's your story. You get to write it.